5:13 local time. The ocean lies perfectly calm, the air barely moves. Inside the carrier's combat information center, the soft, steady pulse of passive sonar sets the rhythm. Green traces slide across dark monitors. The watch feels ordinary. Nothing is moving outside the expected pattern. Then the sound changes. A sharp spike slices through the background. Brief, abnormal, impossible to miss. No one says much, but everyone hears it. The sonar operator leans closer, eyes fixed on the screen. The contact does not move like sea life. It does not drift. It surges. Another update follows. New contact, high speed, bearing 274. There are still no alarms, no flashing lights, only calm, controlled voices. The operator adjusts the filters. The signal becomes clearer. A distinct acoustic profile rises out of the noise. Mechanical, balanced, intentional. Then everything locks into place. Weapon in the water. The room changes instantly. Not chaos, not fear, but total concentration. Displays refresh at once. The contact's speed climbs, its depth steadies. The bearing does not shift. Someone states it in a level, clinical tone. Torpedo launch confirmed. On the bridge above, the carrier stays on course. From the outside, nothing seems different. No hard turn, no dramatic reaction. 80,000 tons of steel continue forward at constant speed, carving a white path through blue water. But below deck, the countdown has already begun. The tactical display redraws. A red vector reaches out from somewhere deep beneath the surface, pointed straight at the ship. The range is shrinking. Time to impact less than 7 minutes. No one needs to explain what that means. This is not a drill. There is no announcement, no siren. Every person in the room already understands the numbers. The sonar operator keeps reporting. Voice steady. Active guidance suspected. Course correcting. That detail changes everything. This is not a simple straight-running weapon. It is listening. It is reacting. The officer of the watch speaks without raising his voice. Condition 1. Anti-submarine warfare. Those words move through the ship faster than sound itself. On the flight deck, sailors stop mid-step. Aircraft crews pause with their hands still on panels. The wind carries only turbine noise and the distant rush of water. No one runs, no one has to. Back in CIC, more contacts appear, then disappear as environmental clutter is stripped away. What remains is the only thing that matters. The torpedo's track is clean now. Its speed is stable. Its purpose is obvious. The bearing never changes. It is coming for the carrier. The captain enters without ceremony. He does not waste time with questions. He studies the display and gives a single nod. Maintain course. The order lands with more weight than a shouted command ever could. Holding course is not indecision. It is geometry. Turn too early and a smart torpedo already locked on could solve the intercept even faster. So the carrier holds steady. The torpedo accelerates again, speed increasing, depth unchanged. At another console, a watchstander marks the water column. The acoustic profile suggests a heavyweight design, long range, built for large targets. Another update comes in, closing fast, 6 minutes. The room stays quiet except for voices and the sound of keys. Every sentence is exact, every second is recorded. Then the torpedo seeker goes active. A new sound slips into the headphones, faint but unmistakable. A sharp, high-frequency pulse searching through the water. Active ping detected. That is the moment uncertainty ends. This weapon is not testing. It is not hesitating. It is fully committed. And still, the carrier does not turn. Outside, the horizon looks exactly as it did 5 minutes earlier. Sunlight flashes on the water. The sky remains empty. But inside the ship, the ocean has become a battlefield measured in seconds and meters. The tactical plot updates again. The red vector creeps closer. The system refines the calculations automatically. 5 minutes. The captain speaks again at last. Prepare countermeasures. Stand by, stand by. Not yet. The torpedo adjusts once more, reading the carrier's wake and correcting toward it. It is adapting. It is closing. The sonar operator lets out a slow breath. No decoys deployed. Holding. Everyone in the room knows why. Release them too early, and the weapon may adapt. Wait too long, and there may not be another chance. This is the razor-thin line where doctrine gives way to judgment. 4 minutes. The carrier continues on the same line. Somewhere below the surface, metal is racing toward metal, guided by sound, speed, and precision. And in the next few moments, no longer measured in minutes but in heartbeats, everything is about to change. 5:16 local time. The torpedo is still running. Inside the Combat Information Center, the picture tightens. The red vector remains steady. But now something else begins to form. At first it is subtle, buried deep beneath the noise floor, then it becomes impossible to ignore. New contact. The sonar operator speaks quietly. Low frequency, slow mover. No one asks what it could be. Everyone already knows what it must be. The system starts peeling back the layers, thermal boundaries, biological noise, background clutter, until one acoustic fingerprint remains. Long cylindrical propulsion pulses, spaced with unmistakable military precision. The entire room focuses. Shooter contact developing. That changes everything. The torpedo is no longer only a danger, it is evidence. Track the weapon, and you may find the platform that launched it. The fire control team overlays the torpedo's path with the most likely firing geometry. Angles narrow. Solutions collapse inward. On the display, a shaded cone appears, an invisible funnel reaching back into the deep. There, someone says quietly. A single point stabilizes at the narrow end of the cone. Range, several thousand yards. Depth, well below the thermal layer. Speed, minimal. It is hiding. The torpedo updates again, making a slight correction toward the carrier's wake. Its seeker is working exactly as designed. The distance continues to fall. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. The captain studies the screen. No drama, no delay. Launch the helicopter. Inside CIC, every set of eyes is split between two battles at once. One weapon is closing in, while the hunter that launched it is now being hunted in return. The helicopter crew says very little. They do not need to. Their route has already been shaped by the stream of data rising from the ship below. Dipping sonar in 2 mics, comes the calm voice over the net. The torpedo pings again, louder this time. Active guidance confirmed. No one in the room reacts outwardly. The information lands, is processed, and becomes part of the picture. The carrier finally makes a move. Not a turn, not yet. Just a slight increase in speed, enough to change the acoustic scene without signaling desperation. The wake grows thicker. The water behind the ship becomes rougher, denser, harder for a seeker to interpret. The torpedo responds. Weapon just corrected, sonar reports. There is no relief in the room, no frustration either. Only data. 3 minutes. The helicopter reaches station and settles into a low hover, close enough to the sea that it seems almost connected to it. A cable drops. The sonar dome slips beneath the surface. Everyone waits. The seconds stretch. Then the call comes. Contact, solid return, bearing matches, shooter estimate. The shaded cone on the display tightens into a single point. That's him, someone mutters. The submarine still does not maneuver. It does not run. It does not dive deeper. That is not hesitation. It is a decision. It is listening, waiting to learn whether its shot lands before committing to escape. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. The torpedo keeps the same speed. Its track remains aggressive. It moves with the confidence of something that believes it is exactly where it should be. Inside CIC, another line of options lights up across the board. Countermeasures ready, decoys standing by, all systems primed. Still, they wait. The helicopter refines the contact. The sonar image sharpens. Confirmed submarine contact. No change in speed. That detail hits hard. A submarine that stays still after firing is not careless. It is deliberate. It believes the attack will succeed. Then the captain's voice cuts cleanly through the room. Shift priority. Shooter is now primary. That is the turning point. The carrier is still in immediate danger, but the logic of the fight has changed. The threat is no longer only the weapon rushing toward the ship. It is the platform beneath the surface that can do it again. 2 minutes. The helicopter makes one tight, controlled circle, keeping sonar locked. With each pass, the submarine's acoustic fingerprint becomes clearer. Propulsion type, shaft rhythm, every detail is being captured and stored. The torpedo pings again, closer now. The tactical display updates in real time. The red vector pushes toward the carrier's defensive boundary. The blue marker over the submarine remains steady. Both tracks are moving toward an endpoint. One of them is about to be interrupted. Stand by, the captain says. No one in the room seems to breathe. 2 hunters, 2 targets, and only seconds left before one of them makes a fatal mistake. 5:19 local time. The torpedo crosses another range ring. Inside the Combat Information Center, the geometry narrows into a corridor with almost no room left. The weapon is no longer feeling its way forward. It is driving in, steady and deliberate, locked on and committed. Prepare decoys, the tactical action officer says. The order moves through the room without urgency because urgency wastes time. On the display, the carrier's projected wake spreads behind the ship, a dense acoustic cloud shaped by speed, mass, and sea state. The torpedo seeker rides the edge of that pattern, making small, exact corrections. Deploy. Countermeasures slip into the water behind the carrier. Quiet, controlled, timed to the second. They bloom in the wake as false targets, synthetic signatures built to attract, confuse, and draw the weapon away from its true line. For a moment, it works. The torpedo hesitates. Its track wavers. The red vector bends just slightly toward the decoys. Weapon turning, sonar reports. Still, no one celebrates. No one moves too soon. Everyone waits. The carrier holds course. The helicopter stays locked onto the submarine, hovering low over the sea, rotors pounding the air in a steady roar. Then the torpedo changes again. Correction, sonar says. It's reacquiring. The red line snaps back toward the carrier's real wake. The decoys are rejected. That is the difference between theory and live contact. This weapon is not just following noise. It is comparing. It is evaluating. It is adapting. Countermeasures ineffective, the watchstander says. There is no surprise in his voice, only confirmation. 1 minute, 50 seconds. The torpedo accelerates slightly, making up for lost time. Its seeker pings again, harder now, sharper. Inside CIC, the room grows even quieter. Not because of fear, but because focus has narrowed to a razor's edge. Everyone knows exactly how little margin remains. The helicopter crew shifts position. Shooter remains steady, the sensor operator reports. No maneuvering. That changes the reading again. The submarine is still listening, still waiting. It is not fully committed to escape. It still believes. The captain steps closer to the main display. Helicopter, he says calmly, mark shooter as hostile. Prepare to engage. There it is. No dramatic language, no qualifiers, just a change in intent. The helicopter acknowledges with a single word. Roger. 1 minute, 30 seconds. The torpedo is now inside the carrier's inner defensive geometry. At last, the ship begins to maneuver. Not violently, not with panic, but with decision. The bow shifts just enough to break the symmetry. Speed rises again. The wake thickens, curls, and fractures into a far more chaotic pattern. The torpedo responds at once. Weapon correcting, sonar calls. Depth change observed. Now it is working harder. Burning energy, making faster decisions, but it is still coming. Inside CIC, another track grows more important with every passing second. The submarine's signature becomes clearer the longer the helicopter maintains contact. Its propulsor rhythm is recorded. Its acoustic profile remains disciplined and precise. Then another change appears. Shooter noise increasing, the helicopter reports. The submarine has made its first real move. It is moving now. Not fast, not yet, but enough to matter. It knows it has been found. 1 minute. The torpedo is still the most immediate danger, but the balance of the fight is starting to shift. The submarine can no longer count on firing and slipping away untouched. The captain's voice remains calm. Engage the shooter. The order does not erase the incoming threat. It changes the shape of the battle. The helicopter moves into its attack run, adjusting position with precision, never losing sonar contact. Below, the submarine reacts, but too late. It makes a shallow turn, trying to slip sideways out of the acoustic cone. It's a mistake. The movement sharpens its signature instead of hiding it. Contact solid, the helicopter reports. Tracking maintained. 30 seconds. The torpedo pings again, louder now, closer. Inside CIC, no one looks away. Then the update comes. Weapon losing stability. The corrections become erratic. The carrier's maneuvering, combined with the increasingly chaotic wake, is breaking down the torpedo's solution. It is burning energy, chasing a picture that refuses to stay still. 15 seconds. The helicopter commits. Below the surface, the submarine hears it. New sounds, new pressure, clear intent. The torpedo makes one last attempt to correct, overshoots. Weapon lost lock, sonar says. The red vector fractures, then disappears. The inbound threat is gone, but no one relaxes, because now the hunter knows it is being hunted. 5:21 local time. The torpedo is no longer a factor. That realization settles quietly across CIC. No celebration. No one says it out loud. The red track is gone, but the room stays focused. The shooter is still there. On the display, the submarine's marker begins to drift. At first slowly, then with more intent. Shooter maneuvering, the sonar operator reports. Bearing shifting southeast. That's the first clear admission from below the surface. The submarine is leaving. Not sprinting, not panicking. Just enough movement to slip away, to break contact, to disappear back into depth and noise. It won't be enough. The helicopter tightens its orbit, lowering again, holding the sonar dome steady in the water. Every return comes back clearer now, amplified by the submarine's own motion. Contact strengthening. Then another detail. Cavitation starting. That's the sound no submarine wants to make. It means speed is being traded for stealth, and the ocean punishes that instantly. Inside CIC, the tactical picture reshapes itself. The submarine's escape path becomes visible, predictable. From the edges of the display, the carrier's escorts begin to close in. Two surface ships increase speed, spreading wide, cutting off open water. Their movement is controlled, coordinated, quiet. This is no longer defense. It's containment. The captain watches the geometry form and speaks once. Keep pressure. Don't rush. The helicopter shifts again, staying just ahead of the submarine's path. The sonar image sharpens further. Hull length, propulsion rhythm, depth profile. The submarine turns harder now, trying to break out of the sonar cone. It doesn't work. Shooter turning hard, the helicopter reports. Contact maintained. Every move the submarine makes adds noise, adds exposure. Every second it stays shallow gives the surface forces more data. Then it dives. Fast. Depth increases rapidly as it tries to trade speed for cover. Pressure builds. Thermal layers stack, cold and dense. For a moment, the contact fades. Then, reacquired. Calm, certain, still tracking. The ocean doesn't let go that easily. The captain gives a single nod. Proceed. No further explanation is needed. The helicopter steadies, then commits. A weapon drops into the water, clean, controlled, almost silent. It slips beneath the surface and begins its own run. Inside CIC, two tracks now dominate the display, one fleeing, one following. The submarine hears it almost immediately. Its propulsion spikes. Cavitation spreads violently through the water. Now the escape is no longer controlled. Now it's desperate. The submarine turns again, sharper, trying to outrun the tightening geometry. It can't. The pursuing weapon adjusts with cold precision, matching every move, correcting instantly. The distance between them collapses. Above, the carrier continues forward, steady and unchanged, already fading from the center of the fight. This is no longer about defense, it's about control beneath the surface. Shooter slowing, sonar reports. Movement becomes uneven, unstable. The submarine is out of options. Then, nothing. The contact flickers, breaks apart, dissolves into scattered noise. The steady propulsion rhythm is gone, replaced by irregular echoes that don't match controlled motion. The room remains silent. No assumptions, no early conclusions. A few seconds pass, then the helicopter speaks again. Shooter no longer maneuvering. That's all. On the surface, the escort ships ease their speed, holding position, watching the water where the submarine was last tracked. No further pings chase it. No additional weapons follow. The message has already been delivered. Inside CIC, the display clears. One track gone. One threat removed. No announcement, no emphasis. Just a quiet change in the equation. The captain turns away from the screen. Resume posture. Above deck, movement returns as if someone quietly pressed play again. Aircraft crews pick up where they left off. Hands back on panels. Routines flowing without hesitation. Beneath the surface, the ocean erases the last trace of disruption. No debris rises, no signal follows, just silence. And out here, silence is never random. 5:26 local time. The sea slips back into routine. From the carrier's bridge, nothing looks different. Calm water, fading light, no sign of what unfolded below just minutes ago. The ship stays on course, engines settled into a steady cruise. The wake tightens into a clean white line trailing behind. Inside the Combat Information Center, everything is controlled and deliberate. No celebration, no open discussion, just process. They log, timestamps go in, bearings are recorded, acoustic data is stored, copied, preserved. Every second of the encounter is captured exactly as it happened. No emotion, no interpretation, just facts. The sonar operator keeps listening, scanning the same stretch of water where the submarine last appeared. In the headphones, there's nothing now but background noise, currents, distant marine life, the slow, constant rhythm of the sea itself. Shooter remains silent, he says. That's not relief, that's confirmation. The helicopter makes one final wide circle, controlled and unhurried, then climbs and heads back to the carrier. Its job is done. No urgency in the voice, no tension, just procedure. On deck, it settles onto steel as smoothly as it left. Chocks are set, rotors spin down. Sailors step in immediately, already resetting for whatever comes next. Below deck, systems transition one by one. Combat posture fades back into monitoring. Displays dim slightly, alerts reset. The pace slows, but nothing is forgotten. The captain stands quietly at the edge of CIC, looking at the now clear display. Where moments ago there were converging tracks and tightening angles, there is only empty water. One weapon launched, one response delivered, no follow-up, no second attempt, no further movement below. The ocean has accepted the result. A final sweep confirms it. No additional contacts, sonar reports. The words are entered into the log, plain and unembellished. Above the surface, there is no broadcast, no announcement, Nothing for anyone outside the ship to see. The carrier doesn't change speed to prove a point. It doesn't launch aircraft in display. It doesn't linger. It simply continues. That in itself is the message. At sea, what isn't shown can matter more than what is. Silence can carry more weight than force. And restraint, backed by capability, speaks louder than any signal ever could. Somewhere below, a submarine is no longer part of the situation. Whether it's damaged, withdrawing, or holding still in silence doesn't matter. What matters is simple. It's gone. And it didn't act again. Inside CIC, a junior watchstander checks the time and makes the final entry. The log closes not with drama, but with a line so straightforward it almost blends into the rest. Inbound torpedo defeated, shooter neutralized, carrier mission uninterrupted. Nothing more. No added words. No conclusions. The carrier moves forward, unchanged in course, unchanged in purpose. Behind it, the ocean smooths over everything. Wakes fade. Sound disappears. The surface returns to calm, as if nothing ever happened. But beneath it, the lesson remains. One torpedo was launched. It never reached its mark. And the platform that sent it did not decide how the day would end. Out here, that says enough.